Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears, start living an awesome life. It is possible. I know it doesn't seem like it. And then you're on top of the world one day, and then something happens, and sometimes nothing happens, and you don't know why. You're just not feeling really happy. All right, so there's a few things we're going to talk about today that are the reason why we're unhappy. First of all, this planet is wrought with density. We share that. We are one energy. String theory, right? Everything's connected. Everything is one thing affected at all the same time. There's no delay in that. So whatever's happening around this planet, you will be affected by it. You still get to choose how you react to it. I want to really specify that because people say, well, it's the collective consciousness doing this and that. Well, the collective consciousness absolutely will be there. Just like I can look across the street and see the Victorian house. But what I feel and think about that is my own choice. And I want you to always remember that, because you did choose to come here and participate in the collective to change the planet. You are a part of that. And some of you are here because you have your own karma to clear up, which is a part of the planetary collective, which means that if you've had hundreds of lifetimes of struggle, you've never achieved your goal, you need to come back here as a human and clear it up. This is your time to do it. Do not hesitate to do that. So I want you to remember that you are participating in this density. That is always going to be there until we, one at a time, raise the frequency of ourselves, thus the planet and beyond, because everything is connected in the entire cosmos and beyond, right? We are one. So remember that. This is all a shared energy, and where we are in particular is a concentration of a lower density that needs to be worked out on this individual, seemingly individually expression of a planet. So you will be affected by that. Now, herein comes in the very critical piece of that. This is part of how we've functioned since probably the beginning of this planet. There may be times when they were in completely different frequencies, but somehow we ended up back here, right? It always ended up back here, even if you believe in Atlantis and all of these amazing civilizations in the past. Somehow something happened along the way that they either left or succumbed to whatever. So I want you to know the history of this planet is that we do get sucked back into that because it is very powerful and strong, because it's how we function. We've been told to function that way. In other words, you're coming in to a place where no matter what you feel and think, you're always told and reinforced that you're not powerful, that you don't control your destiny. And even if you can watch quantum physics and know that this is not theory, that this is proof that we are one thing and that we do affect everything around us, you absolutely affect your life. You're controlling your reality. Nobody else's but yours, and nobody else controls yours. They can have an influence, but you control yours. So just remember that that influence outside can push you into what I call the third energy field. Our first energy field is our higher self. You never lose, you're never out of touch with that. I don't want you to think, oh, you came down here and then, you have to connect to it. It's always there. Where you place your focus is whether or not you tap into that power, which has no obstructions. The second energy field is that which came into this physical body, which has density, which now takes on a role, a play. You're a player now. The third density is our friend, where is he? Oh, he's in the dining room sleeping, is the ego. Okay, so the third energy field is the ego, and that is the me, I'm separate, I'm dense, and that's the getting sucked into this frequency on this planet, this density, that we are just human beings walking around trying to survive. Everybody else is a threat. Everything else is a threat unless it's working in your favor. And that is, of course, what we're trying to pull out of, because we have to recognize what we are. So unhappiness. Now, I'm going to give you an example. I, too, have experienced this. When you go through rough patches, you get so used to it, you actually condition your second and third energy field to be a survivor. And so let's say you start to make all the money or you have the relationship and all these things. Really, if you look at your life, you say, damn, I'm really doing well. Oh my gosh, and you're thankful. But somewhere inside, you're unhappy. And you're thinking, why am I not excited? Well, because we're told that the material world and having all those things is going to bring us happiness, and it doesn't. So we're expecting that, and when we don't feel a certain way, we're disappointed. That's the expectations I've talked about. When you have expectations, and people are saying, well, wait a minute, if you're going to manifest things you want, you should expect it. No, it's already done. It's already done. And don't expect anything like how it's going to come and when it's going to come. Just know it's done and be okay with whatever shows up, because it's going to be the highest, best pathway for you. Even if it's not the job you wanted, and that falls through, you go, wait a minute, I was expecting to get that job. And then you're going to be disappointed, right? So then all of a sudden you go into the lack mode, this doesn't work mode, I didn't get what I want, and that's the third density. That's the third energy field. That's the ego saying, oh yeah, I believed and I'm manifesting, but it has to be on my terms. Well, you're part of something so much bigger. And if you accept and know that it is done and have no expectations, what happens is then that wasn't your job. You'd have found that out if you'd have gone in there. Something would have been wrong with it. So you wanted the highest, best position with a good salary or income, and then all of a sudden another job comes and you go, whew, wow, it's a good thing I didn't get that other job. This became available thanks to it falling through. Open yourself up. So when we have the things and things come and whatever, again, we have expectations that we will be happy. We connect that that's what we're supposed to get and that's what you're supposed to achieve and that's happiness. No, it's not. It absolutely is not. It's a temporary high, just like a relationship can be or anything else. It's a temporary fix for something that doesn't go very deep because you can't maintain it. You can't take it with you. And so if you're not working on that which is eternal, and part of this, of course, is part of the energy field of that eternal you, then you're not in touch with that first higher self that has no requirements whatsoever to be joyful and happy. You're going into the third energy field. I'll get this, I'll get this, I'll get this. So what happens is, and I've done this myself, you go into this place where you're going, holy cow, all right, I got it all of it. All right, so what's going on here? And then you realize you're so used to having lack or not having what you want or being in a position of unhappiness or being in the bad job or being in bad relationships. There is a second and third energy, human energy field that has to adjust, that has to rewire and accept the fact that you don't have to feel like that anymore. It's almost an addiction. It's a familiarity that humans go into, this familiar turf of I know what to do with unhappiness. So when you get the stuff and you're not really connecting to your spiritual, high frequency, you're connecting to the third density of, oh, that's supposed to make me happy, and it doesn't. You really haven't really accomplished much other than, yeah, you can manifest anything on any frequency if you believe it. It can come, but if you're manifesting on the third density, which is basically you believing that the material world can make you happy, it won't. It'll be temporary if you feel that at all. I'll never forget a friend of mine who grew up very poor, and his whole thing was, oh, if he had the car and all the status, and it was so important to have all the status, right? And we go through that. I think we all have to experience that, right? Thought that was going to make him happy, and he says, it was really weird. He said, when I got that big old expensive car, he said, I got in it and I had absolutely no joy at all. In the house, there was no joy at all. And he realized none of it had to do with the stuff, and that he had some work to do on other things. Now, what it will give you is some freedom, and it can pull some stress off. But trust me, the more you make, there's other stresses that come in. And then you have to maintain it. And then, depending on what you do for a living. If you guys want to do my free workshop, it's a workshop that tells you about what people are doing out there to work for themselves online. That's what I do for a living. I'm an internet marketer for myself. I own my own business, and I also do internet marketing for other products and services that I believe strongly in, so I don't have to develop those products or run those companies. You know, Amazon's an affiliate marketing company, right? They do own some of their own stuff now, but they started out just selling other people's things. So if you guys want to sign up, it says landriaonkka.net. Start now too. You can go in and check it out. You can also go into my e-commerce, my e-course. I've got a big discount right now. If it says big discount, then it's still good. You can use a code and you can get in there for a huge discount and start working through this stuff and start recognizing where's that coming from, because what I want to help you do, and I do in the course, and even the internet marketing, we work a lot on this. There's a lot of mindset involved, because people that are successful don't just go out there and do this stuff. We know what happens. I owned my own companies, businesses, you know, as a single business owner. It's like, that doesn't make you happy. In fact, sometimes you have more responsibilities. And so the internet training says there's more than just making money. We're going to show you how to have a healthy life. Let's start with life goals, not here's my money goal. That's not working for people. So when we get away from that and we say, what is it I really want? Everybody wants to be happy. So instead of attaching it to what we're told will make us happy, what if you just go after that, manifest that, and say, I desire financial abundance. You don't have to say what that is, because I'll tell you right now, those of you that pull these crazy ass numbers out of the sky, that have never made anywhere near that money, have no clue what it's like to make that kind of money. And it's very stressful, and it doesn't make you happy. Once again, it's the, oh boy, I got everything and well, I'm not feeling happy. Ask for the joyful things to come to you and give. Give to help other people in whatever way you can that they want and can receive, you know, willingly, not pushing stuff on them. And be your absolute best here. Spread joy and you'll receive joy. Unhappiness is not the material world, but it will come to you when you let it go. Then all of a sudden you'll always have everything you need. And then you'll realize, wow, I didn't need all that fancy stuff, because I've been there, done that, and it absolutely didn't make a difference in anything. Everything had to come from me. And I'm talking mega house, mega everything, you know? And it wasn't the happiness. The happiness came from my friendships, what I was doing for a living, and that had to change too. I know Robbie T is like, no, you should love what you're doing. And well, if you're not in alignment with what you're doing, it can kill you. It can kill you, I know, because I was going down that road. And I was not in alignment with what I was doing for a living. And the bottom line was I had to make a decision to get out of that. And that's what the universe is saying. Here, you've got the prestige, you've got the private jets and all this stuff, the things that we were doing, a lot of fun. But there was no depth to that. It was there. If there was not anything else with that, it wasn't going to create happiness. Now, I just want to also say, you could be wealthy and be extremely happy, but how are you living that life? It's about how you live that life. Is it on a higher frequency, or is the focus on being wealthy? Because there will be consequences to pay for everything. There's a cause and effect. If you're taking my e-course, I know a lot of you are, you know what I'm talking about. We actually examine that. We examine everything we're doing and thinking and what's behind it, and then we go, wow, no wonder all of this was happening. We dig deep into that and we go, whoa, we got to switch gears out of that, because we can go into that higher frequency, get the abundance, and then you relax. Then you're happy and you go, oh, I can relax. I'm not trying to get it, where am I going to make money? And by the way, don't sign up for my internet workshop if you're looking for a quick fix, fast money. Go do MLM or some other thing, or pyramid schemes, and you'll figure out that doesn't work. Chasing money doesn't work. This earth is changing, and that's going away. Those structures are going away. Yay! Yay! Guess what? Abundance will flow. Unlike any other, there won't be these people struggling, and then the wealthy people, and the poor people hating the wealthy people. They're evil, and which keeps them poor. And the wealthy people looking down on them. And then there's wealthy people who give abundance and do amazing things. And there's poor people that are super happy. There's all these different places, but the unhappiness and the conflict between these, hierarchies that are in place right now is what continues to keep that in place. Let the conflict go. You know, you don't have to be wealthy to be happy, and you don't have to be poor to be pious and enlightened. You get to choose your life, whatever you want. If you're going after joy and peace, then go after joy and peace and allow the universe to flow, because your higher self has those answers. You're always in communication. Even if your second and third energy fields are not getting those answers clear, like, I don't know what to do, it's going to show up. So I've had people on my e-course within a very short period of time, like they're like within the first couple lessons, getting big checks, jobs, awakening, going to this so huge place of peace. I've watched people change, their personalities change, going from just this crazy attacking to standing back and being aware of how they're acting and realizing that's the energy they were putting out and that's what they were receiving. The results are off the charts amazing. So I suggest you take the e-course. If you're struggling with this, 6 weeks, you have access to it for a year. A year. That membership, that student fee that I charge doesn't cover the songs for one meditation, and I have 17 of them in there. All original meditations that I created and composed by myself that I don't have out on the internet. All right, so you're getting a great deal, and for 1 year, because I want to make sure that if you start to slip back, because we're addicted to and used to that familiar unhappiness, you'll start to get triggers. And so then you get sucked into it. I want you to go back and say, whoa, let's catch that. Let's go into that meditation. Let's go through here. Let's go into my practices. You have a journal. You go back and you say, wow, okay, I'm going back into that thinking, and I chose this thinking. Then you go into the new thinking. You become a new person. You actually create a new reality within the course. And what's happening was, you guys, on my YouTube channel, there's no structure to this to keep you in line. You feel good, and a lot of you are going up, but if you dig deeper into what you personally are dealing with, you'll understand why you're gravitating toward unhappiness. Why does that keep happening? And what is it you're looking for that you think is going to be happiness? We actually examine that. In fact, in the second course, One Big Thing, we do a lot of that, and we start to manifest stuff that's really awesome. So I want you to understand that this is part of a process. Be prepared for it and know that this is school and you want to graduate. So every single day is you progressing out of this. No excuses, no victim. If you're in a position like my friend whose husband wanted her to stay in a job that was literally killing her because he wanted the money, he's just thinking third density. Not, it's up to him if he pulls out of that. But that's why I said, and Robbie T didn't like when I said this, I said, you have to go to him and say, if you are okay with me having a heart attack or getting sick early, that's what's going to happen if I stay in this job, because it is so unhealthy. It's like going into a toxic dump and working there and say, I'm okay, and going, step away. Step away from it. And, Rumi, the Dalai Lama, they say, step away from negative energy. If it's not good for you, you're not there to change it. You can find where you're supposed to be and happy, and maybe it's the position that doesn't pay as much, and it may not be a prestigious position at all, but you're going to know if it's in alignment with your happiness. All right? It's going to feel right. And I'm going to tell you something. I still deal with being human like everybody else. I don't think the same way I think as most people. People are like thinking too hard. I'm like, why do you have to think about anything? Who cares about aliens and who cares about this and that? Just focus on you today. There's only this present moment, and what you're thinking and feeling is what's creating your reality and your future and everything else. So why not focus on the absolute best, highest frequency right now? That's all you got. I get up every day and I focus on that. From the minute I wake up, I say my mantra. And I add stuff. I send light and love out to the universe. And I say, surround this planet with light and love, light, the highest frequency. And then I ask, please send the light and the love and the awakening to all those who seek and desire it. I send those wishes to you, but I also have to say, it's up to you whether you choose it or not. Please send that light and love and that high frequency to others who seek it. And then somebody somewhere woke up and went, "Oh, I feel lighter today," because we are sending that light and love out. And you're receiving it at this exact same time. Then my feet hit the ground and I say, thank you, oh my God. I say this all the time. I must be the luckiest person on the planet. I must have been Gandhi in my last life. I must have. Because I just have had the most amazing life, and I continue to choose an amazing life. And I always say I'm going to do my job, but there are certain things that I'm going to manifest because I still want to live an amazing life. And you can have it all. You can have it all, but don't expect this experience of being human to go away. Having it all means recognizing the challenges for what they are, not going into unhappy zone, and seeing what it is, going to my e-course, and we show you how to deal with that. And then all of a sudden you go, whoa, woo, I was thinking completely differently than, before. And all of a sudden you go into this lighter space and there's no more negative challenges. You just don't see them. And yes, you'll experience some, stuff, especially as you're transitioning and moving away from the things you don't like. You'll keep going up and up and up. It's going to get easier and easier. And all of a sudden you're going to look back and go, I can't believe I ever struggled with money. Wow. Or relationships, or that I needed a relationship to be happy, and then all of a sudden the person of your dreams steps in because you're not this needy, unhappy person anymore. You're going to look different too. So I know this is a long video, but I really want to enforce what's going on. This is a planet of challenges. This is school. Accept it. Don't look for the outside world to make you happy, and then ask for the happiness, ask for the joy, and seek it. Seek that highest frequency, that highest thing, that one thing. What can you do? Do you know every time these FedEx, UPS guys come up to my door, as soon as they knock, I run to the door, I open it, and as they're walking down the pathway, I go, thank you. I thank my mailman. I thank everybody. I want them to know they're appreciated. And you know what? That raised the frequency. It's that simple. Somebody said that they are cleaning their neighbor's, 80-some-year-old neighbor's condo. Bless your heart. It's going to feel really good. You just absolutely raised her frequency. She knows there are caring people out there. It will be us someday that needs that help, that needs that person to help us up the stairs, or deliver something, or lift something heavy, or just bring food over when we're not feeling well, or, well, we're never going to get sick, right? But what are you doing to help this planet change? It's going to change your life. That's happiness. That's happiness. And no one will suffer and struggle again. I promise you that's where we're going. We're going into it. 2020 is going to be a pivotal year. Right now we're switching over. You guys are experiencing the adjustments. A lot of things falling off. It's not, but none of it's bad. None of it's bad. Things are going away that don't serve you. Be okay with that and know that something amazing's on the way. Know it. Don't you question that. Don't you question that. Ever. I'm going to point again. So don't point, Landria. Point, point, point. Don't you question that, because you're amazing. You're perfect. What would the enlightened, perfect light being do? Me. What would I, as a perfect light being, awakened light being, do at this moment? That's one of my videos. Did you do it? Every moment. What would the awakened, perfect light being do at this moment? Well, they wouldn't be stressing about something that we know is temporary. They wouldn't be questioning that there's something beautiful. They wouldn't be questioning that what they're experiencing has absolute meaning, that there's nothing but a loving, unconditionally loving God, one source, that is just experiencing every possible form of itself. That's it. We're the only ones that put a name on it and say good and bad. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful. No one's more powerful than you. No one. We all share the equal one. Loving, harmonious, it exists, that first energy field, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. I send you my light and love. And if you feel it right now, say thank you, accept it, and go about your day. And know that you are protected by that love and that unconditional light and love. Namaste.